everybody, it's Heather, the Butterfly Effect, plant-based weight loss. And I'm so excited because I'm coming to you from the Ultimate Weight Loss Live Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm here, that's Chef AJ and John Pierre's program. And I wanted to bring you some interviews with some of the amazing people that I got to meet here. And this is Laura Klum, and she is someone that I've actually been in the mastery program with for the last year, but I really got to know while we were here. So this is really cool that I got to see you in person.
Yes.
And she just had such a cool story, excuse me, that I knew I had to share it with you guys. And so one thing that you should know about Laura is you would never know it to look at her, but she is actually a grandma. And how old are you, Laura?
56 this month.
56 this month, and she is buff, you guys. You gotta buy tickets to the gun show. She's in such great shape after she has taken off over 80 pounds eating a whole foods, plant-based, SOS-free diet. And we actually don't eat sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, or salt, and so it's why it's so fuzz. And I'm still bad with the salt, I'll admit that. But are you off of salt, Laura?
It's insidious. It's really hard to cut out 100%.
It is really kind of hard and stuff. But I'm kind of jumping the gun because I really want you to hear Laura's story. What happened around the time you turned 50?
Yeah, on my 50th birthday, I was fat and sick and absolutely miserable. There was no quality of life. And for my 50th birthday checkup, my doctor had said, on top of your fibromyalgia and your depression and your chronic headaches and other medical issues, it looks like you have rheumatoid arthritis too. And I thought, this is a death sentence. Why go on? And so I thought, I've got to change something. So I started doing a little research. And that's when I discovered whole food plant-based. And the science sounded good. So I thought, I'm going to give this 6 months. And if I don't feel better in 6 months, I'm ending it. I was to that point.
Like, you were so depressed, you were suicidal?
Yes. Because
wow.
I was 50 and I couldn't do my job anymore. I'm a daycare provider for infants and young children. I didn't think I could do it anymore.
Oh, because of all you were in massive pain?
Yeah, it was just a constant chronic pain. I could hardly walk across a room.
And same here, guys. You guys know that was my main thing too, and it's just, if I didn't think morally that suicide was wrong, and I would never leave my kids, and
I wouldn't have done it either, but those thoughts are there, and that's frightening.
Exactly. So it's just to kind of illustrate how much pain you're in, right, and stuff, because it's kind of incredible now. And so what was your activity level at that time?
I had zero activity level for years. I had no range of motion. I didn't know what muscles were. I literally would have to think twice. Do I have to go to the bathroom bad enough to walk across the room?
Yeah.
Where the alarm would go off in the morning, and my first words were,
yeah, holy crap, another day.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do I have to get up? And that was then. Now it's so different. I started following a whole food plant-based diet. I did it. I jumped in 100%, and in 2 weeks I woke up and I didn't have a headache. In fact, I felt weird, and I finally, it took me a while to figure out what was different. I didn't have a headache.
Wow.
I had not had a headache for years. And then...
How many years do you think you had a headache?
Probably since my 20s.
And in 2 weeks of following whole foods plant-based, it was completely gone?
Yeah, completely. And since I've been doing this, I've had one migraine, and it was food triggered because I ate out at a restaurant, and they said they didn't have MSG, but I think they did.
You think you did?
Yeah.
And so how long did it take you to take off 80 pounds?
Initially, when I went whole food plant-based, in 3 months, I lost 45 pounds, and after a couple weeks, my husband said, you just walked across the room. I hadn't even noticed it. I did not hobble across the room. I walked across the room. So the fibromyalgia was literally gone in 4 weeks.
You guys, I was at a boot camp with this woman. We were doing boot camp. We've been having boot camp every morning at the Ultimate Weight Loss Program. It's been really fun, right? So, John Pierre, he's our fitness coach, but he's also like,
our guru.
yeah, he is. He's our guru. He's our like compassion coach, right?
Yep.
Um, but he's been running these, and I saw Laura work out, and you would first of all, I didn't believe that she was a grandma, and she looks amazing. Like you've gotten down, you've lost all your weight. Like
Yes.
you've gotten down to your goal weight,
Right.
and she's tiny. I almost want to make her stand up, but I don't want to embarrass her. But she's tiny, okay? And so that is so exciting. And so you went from being very sedentary. So now, do you incorporate movement? What do you like to do?
Well, I'll go back a little bit.
Sure.
I did the whole food plant based, and I had those results, and they were really great. But I never reached the goals I wanted. I didn't finish losing the weight. It was just so wonderful to feel healthy. That Rick and we did pick up our activity a little that level then, but then in a couple of years, the weight started coming back on, and then I started getting depression again, and that was very frightening. And for my 55th birthday, now it's been 5 years, I said, I've got to do more research. And then I found Chef AJ again, because she helped like in the very beginning with her chef and the dietitian.
Yes.
That's what hooked my husband. That my husband joined this journey with me. And men drop weight so quickly. He dropped 70 pounds in 2 months.
In 2 months, her husband lost 70 pounds. And that was SOS free, right? But it wasn't.
Yeah.
Chef AJ was still using, when she was doing chef and the dietitian, she was still using nuts, and she was still doing like peanut butter and stuff that we don't get now.
And so then I joined the UWL program in fall of 2016, but I actually started really doing it November 1st because Chef AJ's, she says it's a processed food addiction, and I'm like, I'm not an addict, this is just too radical. But the more I thought about it, yeah, I am a food addict. And so on November 1st, I went to complete abstinence to my trigger foods, like family-sized boxes of Lay's. I could polish off 2 in a sitting.
Yeah, you were a chip addict,
yes,
right?
I was the total chip addict. And cutting out my triggers, it was like miracle times 10. And then a different person mood. It's like the brain chemistry settles down, and it was like I could focus, I could think, and then I started having energy. So this was November 1st I started. January 1st I decided this is my year of movement. I'd already lost like 20 pounds, and so I decided I was going to start working out. So, and in my own home, I just was doing exercise videos and things like that. And this is the strongest I've ever been.
You are so strong.
And
she's got
I went from
gun.
The last doctor's visit, I weighed 187 pounds. And after that, I just refused to weigh myself. So I know I weighed more than that. And I weighed myself just before this convention, and I weigh 103 pounds.
103? Did you ever think you would see 103 again?
No, my goal was 135 and a size 8. And I have size 4s that I have to wear a belt with, and they're way too big.
So you're really like a 2.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're pretty much a 2.
But I can't find like anything
Cute.
smaller than a 4 in my city. I live in a small town.
Oh, that's so cool. And so you live in a so you're a busy grandma, and you're working and everything. So do you buy people's excuses that like, I can't lose weight because I'm after menopause, or...
I was in the middle of menopause when I started this, and no, I think that people who can't do it, it's more of an excuse. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, or maybe they're not ready.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think, okay, I'm this nerdy little grandma that lives in Wisconsin, the dairy state, the land of cheese and brats. I loved sausage
and beer, right?
And now it's so neat because your brain chemistry changes. Those foods are poison. I'm not even tempted. I love the way I eat. Everything I make, I love. We have so much variety.
What are your non-negotiables, Laura? Like, because I don't know if you know my story, but I made like a list of certain things, and I literally made a vow that I would never eat those things again. So for me, it was animal products, sugar, flour, oil, and then later on I had to add peanut butter and cashews and pistachios, So I have my list of like non-negotiables, will not eat it ever because I know I can only say no to the first bite. Do you have a list like that?
Yes, my non-negotiables are alcohol and flour and oil. Those will never cross my lips. They just won't because I will not compromise this. This
Right.
feels too good to ever. Why would I want it?
Yeah, because people will say, "Doesn't this isn't this restrictive?" Or how can you think that you're going to go the rest of your life without a beer or whatever it is that they think that it's crazy that you could never give up. I've had people say to me, how can you go the rest of your life without chocolate? And I get that because I would have thought that too. Like 400-pound me would have totally been like, that is insane, that is never going to happen. And now there's no chocolate in the world that's worth
No.
the chance that I might lose this, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and so you feel that way too.
I feel that way too. And restrictive. That's crazy. When you're eating the standard American diet, sad eating. What are you eating? Burgers, pizza, burgers, pizza, burgers, pizza, tacos, pizza, burgers.
It's
You know,
true.
and
People
now,
are very repetitive, right?
in my bowl of salad, I might have 15 different wonderful ingredients where I don't even have to put dressing on it because I like everything that's in it.
That's awesome.
It's not restricted. And as for like desserts, I thought, oh, how I used to make all the desserts for family gatherings, all the cookies. I used to decorate cakes, and now it's kind of a relief to not have to do all that stuff for holidays. But have you ever eaten a frozen banana with cinnamon on it?
It's really
It's
good.
like ambrosia.
Yeah. So, how do you handle family things? Like, do you go to them but you just don't eat their food, or
Mhm.
yeah?
Yeah, my husband is on board with me, and my daughter and my grandson. They eat like I do, pretty much. The rest of my family thinks we belong to some weird cult. And so once I started bringing my own food, and they were all offended. And I said that I thought family gatherings were about who was around the table, not what was on the table. And I said that I cannot compromise my health. I'm bringing my food, or I'm not coming. So you need to make the decision. Is it the food, or is it me you want to see?
I love that. I love
And
that you advocated for yourself.
it was very tense. It took about a year before my family didn't mind me bringing my food. Now it's just accepted. We
That,
are bringing our own food.
that is so cool. What advice would you have for somebody that was either, that was on the fence that didn't think that they could do it, or
What have you
just
got to
wanted to
lose?
get started? Yeah.
Just give yourself a small goal. Like just give yourself a week. You can do anything for a week. Well, my thing for me was I carried a baby for 9 months. I can do anything for 6 months. That was how I rationalized that first goal. But you don't have to do it for 6 months. Just do it for a week. Do it for 3 days. Like it's once you start doing it, you will immediately notice effects. Cut out the salt, and you'll immediately drop 10 pounds, which is just water weight. But you'll feel so different. What
Yeah.
have you got to lose? But nothing.
Absolutely. I do think, like the first 30 days with, so I use salt still a little bit. I'm just confessing.
But
But
you don't gob it on your food, though.
exactly.
It
But
might
and
be
I
in your
did go
ingredients.
I did go ahead and do the 30 days without salt completely when I first started UWL so that I would neuro adapt. And then once you do, then it's crazy, but the food does start to taste really good to you
Yeah, it
without
does.
the salt.
I grew up in a family where if it didn't crunch from the amount of salt on it, it didn't have enough salt. So, and now I've neuro adapted, and if I get a bite of something and it has salt in it, it's like gross.
Yeah.
We do have salt like in condiments, like in hot sauce and stuff like that, but it's such a small amount.
And so just to kind of can you walk us through, like, if it was a random Tuesday at your house, like what do you eat in a day? What do you like to eat for breakfast?
Okay. My breakfasts are pretty much the same. In my area, we can buy 3 different frozen greens. Every morning, I put a kettle on the stove, I throw in some water and a package of frozen greens with some turmeric, black pepper, and I steam that a little bit. And I don't eat breakfast right away because I'm not hungry when I wake up. Um, and then I cut up a red bell pepper and I just set that aside until I'm hungry, which is I work out in the morning, and then maybe between 11 and 1, I eat my greens. I stir my red bell pepper in because I like the sweetness of a red bell pepper and the crunch
Yeah.
and the color. So I have greens every morning. That's kind of become a non-negotiable because I started this for health reasons. I just like the nourishing, like kale is such a powerhouse, or the dark leafy greens. So I start with that, and then after that, I eat a bowl of berries like blueberries and cranberries with a little bit of oats just to soak up the juice.
Yeah.
So I have that in the morning, and usually that's all I eat until supper time. And I'm a one bowl kind of girl, so it's either going to be a huge jazz salad, as they call it.
Yes.
It'll be a big salad, or it might be like a soup. And I always put like the soup's the soft cooked food. I always put it on some raw kale or add corn because otherwise I eat it too fast. You know,
Yeah.
where I like to like
Savor it.
I savor it. You know, where when you chew your food, you feel like you've eaten, and it gives your receptors time to feel that you have eaten food. So my supper usually takes me like 45 minutes, hour, especially with a big salad.
That's great. And your husband's on board and he does this
And
too?
he does the same thing. He's 6'1" and he's very active. He wakes up at 3 in the morning and goes for a 20-mile bike ride before he goes to his job at a factory.
Did you guys ever think that when you were grandparents that you would be this active?
No, in fact, my husband said recently to me that he feels like he's cheating on his wife because I'm so different.
Yes.
And he gets a kick out of hugging me now because he'll hug me and his arms will actually come around to the front, which is
Yes.
kind of funny. Where he will just hug me because it's I'm